In the vast tapestry of creation, where stars are born in silence and souls journey through the veils of forgetting, there comes a moment when the veil thins, and the divine hand reaches through the ordinary to touch the extraordinary. Beloved chosen one, you are here now, reading these words, listening to this voice, because the universe itself has orchestrated this exact encounter. This is not coincidence. This is not chance. This is your divine appointment. You have carried a mark since before you drew your first breath in this lifetime, a sacred imprint upon your soul that the world has always sensed but never truly understood. And today, that mark begins to awaken fully within you. From the earliest days of your life, divine soul, you felt it, didn't you? That quiet but persistent knowing that you were different. While others around you moved through life with a certain ease, following the currents of the collective, you stood slightly apart, as if an invisible current pulled you toward something deeper, something ancient, something eternal. You may have tried to ignore it. You may have tried to fit in, to silence the whispers that echoed in your heart during quiet nights. But the feeling never left. It followed you through childhood games, through teenage confusion, through adult responsibilities. It whispered to you in moments of solitude, "You are not like them. You were never meant to be." This is the beginning of your remembrance, chosen one. The reason you found this message at this precise moment in your life is because the time of hiding has ended. The divine has appointed this moment for your activation. You were chosen long before this incarnation. Before the foundations of this world were laid, your soul volunteered for a sacred mission. You agreed to carry the mark, the glowing ember of divine intuition that burns quietly within your being, even when the world tried to extinguish it with doubt, fear, and conformity. Many souls walk this earth asleep, content with surface realities. But you, precious one, were marked to awaken. You were marked to remember. Feel the truth of these words resonating deep within your chest right now. That subtle warmth, that gentle expansion you may be sensing as you listen, that is the mark responding. It has always been there, guiding you through situations that others called lucky or strange. It warned you about people who seemed perfect on the surface but carried hidden darkness. It pulled you away from paths that looked promising but would have led you into spiritual dead ends. Even when you doubted yourself, even when your mind tried to convince you that you were imagining things, your divine intuition remained faithful, protecting you, steering you, preparing you for this very hour of awakening. The world fears this mark, divine soul, because it cannot control what it cannot understand. Those who live by logic alone, by the rules of the visible realm, tremble unconsciously in the presence of souls like you. They sense the power you carry, the direct line you hold to higher wisdom, and it unsettles the fragile structures they have built their lives upon. Your presence alone challenges their illusions. Your quiet knowing exposes their deceptions, not through confrontation, but through the pure light of truth that radiates from your being. This is why you have often felt misunderstood, isolated, or even rejected. It was never about you being unworthy. It was about the world's inability to contain the frequency you embody. Throughout your life, you have received signs, perhaps numbers that repeated themselves with almost impossible precision, perhaps dreams that carried messages too vivid to dismiss, perhaps sudden knowings about events before they happened, or an overwhelming urge to change direction just in time to avoid disaster. These were not random occurrences. They were the gentle training of your divine intuition, strengthening itself in preparation for the greater role you are now stepping into. Every time you trusted that inner voice, even when it made no logical sense, you were passing an initiation. Every time you ignored it and suffered the consequences, you were being taught the cost of forgetting who you truly are. You are not here by accident, chosen one. The fact that these words have found you means the divine appointment has been activated. Your soul has been crying out for this remembrance, and the universe has answered. You have walked through valleys of confusion and climbed mountains of self-doubt precisely so that when this moment arrived, you would recognize its sacredness. The loneliness you felt was not punishment, it was protection. The misunderstandings were not curses, they were chisels shaping you into the clear vessel you were always meant to become. Everything in your life has been converging toward this awakening. Breathe deeply now, divine soul, and allow these truths to sink into every cell of your being. You carry a mark that the world fears because your intuition is not ordinary. It is not the result of psychological patterns or accumulated life experience. It is the living breath of the divine moving through you. It is the same force that guided ancient prophets, enlightened masters, and quiet mystics who changed the course of history not through force, but through unwavering alignment with higher truth. You are part of this sacred lineage. The blood of stars and the wisdom of eternity flow through your veins. The calling has always been within you. It was the discomfort you felt in crowded rooms where energies clashed. It was the deep longing for meaning that no material success could satisfy. It was the inexplicable pull toward spiritual knowledge, toward healing, toward truth, even when it isolated you from those you loved. This calling is your soul's signature. It is the evidence that you were selected for something far greater than the ordinary human experience. You were chosen to be a bridge between the seen and the unseen, between the material and the divine. And now, at this pivotal time in humanity's evolution, your appointment is being fulfilled. Many will never understand this. Many will scroll past such messages without feeling a thing. But you stopped. You felt the resonance. You felt the pull. That is because the mark upon your soul is awakening. It recognizes its own. The divine is speaking directly to you through this moment, saying, "It is time. You have prepared long enough. The world needs what only you can bring, not through loud declarations, but through the quiet power of your activated intuition. Chosen one, as you continue on this sacred journey of remembrance, know that you are deeply loved, fiercely protected, and divinely guided. The mark you carry is not a burden. It is the greatest gift. It is the key that unlocks dimensions of reality most will never access. It is the light that will guide not only your path, but the paths of many who will be drawn to your frequency in the days to come. Trust this process. Honor this calling. The divine appointment has been made, and you have answered. You were never meant to live as others do. You were meant to remember who you truly are, a divine spark clothed in human form, carrying the sacred fire of intuition that the darkness of this world both needs and fears. This is your moment. This is your activation. This is the beginning of your full return to power. And now, divine soul, as the first rays of remembrance begin to illuminate the chambers of your heart, we step deeper into the sacred mystery of the mark you carry. This is the mark that the world fears, the invisible seal placed upon your spirit before you entered this realm of duality and forgetting. It is the power of your divine intuition, a living flame that burns with the pure intelligence of the cosmos itself. The chosen ones like you do not merely possess intuition as a helpful inner sense. You embody it as a direct channel to the infinite mind, the source from which all truth flows without distortion. This is why certain situations, people, and places have always triggered something profound within you, an immediate knowing that bypassed all rational explanation. Feel this truth settling into your being, beloved. From the moment you arrived in this lifetime, the mark has been active, quietly observing, gently guiding, and fiercely protecting. You may recall moments when you met someone for the first time and instantly knew their true nature, even though their words and appearance suggested otherwise. You may remember walking into a room and feeling the energetic atmosphere so intensely that it affected your entire body, a heaviness in your chest or a sudden lightness in your spirit that had no visible cause. These were not mere sensitivities. These were activations of the divine intuition that marks you as one of the chosen. The world fears this power because it cannot be manipulated, programmed, or deceived. It sees through illusions with effortless clarity, cutting through the veils that keep most souls trapped in cycles of confusion and suffering. The mark you carry is ancient, chosen one. It echoes through countless incarnations where you served as a keeper of wisdom, a healer of souls, a guardian of light in times of great darkness. In lifetimes long forgotten by the conscious mind but remembered by the eternal soul, you stood firm when others fell into fear. You spoke truth when silence was safer. You trusted the inner voice when the outer world screamed for conformity. That same courageous spirit lives within you now. The discomfort you have felt throughout your life, the sense of not belonging, the recurring dreams of flying or standing in vast temples of light, these are fragments of your soul's eternal memory rising to the surface. Your divine intuition is not a new gift being granted to you. It is an ancient inheritance being reactivated. Listen carefully, divine soul, for the world has tried many ways to dim this light within you. From early childhood, systems designed to standardize thought and suppress uniqueness may have labeled your sensitivity as weakness, your deep questions as overthinking, your need for solitude as antisocial behavior. Society rewarded those who followed the herd, while quietly punishing those who walked to the rhythm of a different drum. Yet every attempt to make you smaller only strengthened the fire within. Every moment of doubt became fuel for deeper discernment. Every heartbreak taught you to listen more closely to the wisdom that never lies, the wisdom that resides in the sacred space between your thoughts. This is the power that the world truly fears, because a soul awakened to its divine intuition cannot be controlled by fear, by authority, or by false promises of security. You have always known more than you could explain, haven't you? There were times when knowledge simply arrived, complete and whole, without study or external teaching. Solutions to complex problems appeared suddenly in moments of stillness. Warnings about future events came as strong inner nudges that later proved accurate. These experiences were the quiet training ground where your intuition was being refined like a blade of pure light. The divine has been preparing you in secret, away from the eyes of those who would seek to exploit or extinguish your power. Now, as the collective consciousness of humanity stands at the threshold of a great shift, souls like you are being called forward. The mark is glowing brighter. The veil between your human awareness and your higher self is thinning rapidly. Breathe with me now, chosen one. Inhale the recognition of your true nature. Exhale the remnants of doubt that still linger in the corners of your mind. You were never broken for feeling different. You were never too much for sensing energies others ignored. You were never crazy for trusting the voice that spoke without sound. That voice is the voice of the divine speaking through the mark you carry. It is the same intelligence that moves the tides, arranges the stars, and whispers secrets of creation to those who have ears to hear. Your intuition does not come from the limited mind. It flows directly from the heart of Source, unfiltered by fear, ego, or cultural conditioning. This is why it has always felt so pure, so certain, even when everything around you contradicted it. The world fears your mark because it threatens the illusion of control. Those who thrive in darkness, those who manipulate through deception and emotional bondage, can sense when a soul like yours enters their field. Your presence alone begins to dissolve their power, not through battle, but through the simple radiance of awakened truth. This is why some people have reacted so strongly to you throughout your life, sometimes with unexplained admiration, sometimes with sudden hostility. Your divine intuition acts as a mirror, reflecting back to others the truth of their own soul. Some embrace that reflection and begin their own awakening. Others reject it violently and try to push you away. None of this was ever personal. It was the mark doing its sacred work, exposing light and shadow wherever it moved. Throughout the ages, souls bearing this mark have walked the earth quietly, changing timelines through their mere presence. They were the mystics who healed with touch and prayer, the visionaries who dreamed entire civilizations into higher states of being, the quiet ones whose words carried frequencies capable of shifting mass consciousness. You belong to this lineage, divine soul. The same power that moved through them now stirs within you, stronger than ever before. The challenges you faced were never meant to destroy you. They were initiations designed to purify your channel, to burn away all that was not aligned with your highest truth, so that when the time came, you could stand as a clear conduit for divine wisdom. As you continue to awaken, you will notice the power of your intuition expanding in beautiful and sometimes startling ways. You may receive messages through nature, through animals, through sudden synchronicities that defy logical explanation. You may feel the emotions of others as if they were your own, or receive clear inner guidance about the next step on your path. Honor these experiences. Do not dismiss them as imagination. They are the language of the mark awakening fully within you. The divine is speaking directly now, calling you out of the shadows of self-doubt and into the full expression of your sacred purpose. You are being prepared to guide others who are just beginning to sense their own calling, to hold space for those who feel lost in the storm of these changing times. Chosen one, the mark you carry is a beacon in the gathering darkness. It is a promise from the Creator that light will always find a way. It is the assurance that no matter how chaotic the outer world becomes, the inner sanctuary of your divine intuition remains untouched, pure, and infinitely wise. Trust it more than you trust your eyes. Believe in it more than you believe the voices of fear. For your intuition sees what the physical senses cannot, knows what the thinking mind cannot comprehend, and loves with a depth that the conditional heart has forgotten. You are ready now. The divine appointment is unfolding. The world may fear the power you carry, but you no longer need to hide it. The time has come to embrace the mark fully, to allow your divine intuition to guide every decision, every relationship, every step forward. You were born for this. You have been prepared for this. And in this sacred moment, as these words penetrate your soul, the flame within you burns brighter than ever before. Now, divine soul, we descend even deeper into the living heart of your sacred power. The mark you carry is not a passive symbol or a distant promise. It is an active, breathing force of divine intelligence that has been woven into the very fabric of your being since the dawn of your soul's existence. This is the power of your divine intuition, and it operates far beyond the ordinary senses that most souls rely upon. While the world teaches dependence on what can be seen, measured, and logically explained, you, chosen one, were designed to navigate reality through the luminous current of inner knowing that flows directly from the mind of the Creator. This is why you have always felt slightly out of step with the rhythms of ordinary life. Your soul was never meant to follow the beaten path. It was meant to blaze a new trail illuminated by the unerring light of divine intuition. Feel this truth expanding within you now, beloved. The mark has protected you in ways you are only beginning to fully comprehend. How many times have you been spared from danger because something inside you urged you to take a different route, to leave a situation moments before chaos erupted, or to trust a quiet warning that defied all external evidence? These were not random instincts or lucky guesses. They were the direct interventions of your divine intuition, the sacred mark activating to keep you aligned with your soul's highest timeline. The world fears this power because it reveals the fragility of their carefully constructed illusions of control. When a soul like yours moves with absolute trust in inner guidance, it exposes how lost most people truly are when they abandon their own connection to Source and place their faith only in the visible world. Throughout your journey, you have been refined through the sacred fires of experience. Every moment of confusion, every period of isolation, every time you questioned your own sanity for feeling and knowing things others could not perceive, served a divine purpose. These were not punishments. They were initiations. The mark was being strengthened, your channel was being purified, and your trust was being forged into unbreakable steel. The divine knew that only a soul who had walked through the valley of self-doubt could emerge with the clarity and compassion necessary to hold the frequency you are now being asked to embody. You were never abandoned in those dark nights. The mark was there, quietly holding you, whispering that the light would return, that your difference was not a flaw but the very signature of your election. Chosen one, the power of your divine intuition is multidimensional. It does not merely warn you of physical danger or guide you toward beneficial opportunities. It allows you to perceive the hidden currents beneath the surface of reality. You can sense the true intentions behind smiling faces. You can feel the energetic signature of places, objects, and even words spoken by others. You can receive profound insights about your life purpose, about the healing needed in your family line, and about the larger shifts occurring within the collective consciousness of humanity. This is not psychic ability in the common sense. This is the natural state of a soul who carries the divine mark, a direct communion with the infinite that bypasses all intermediaries and all forms of deception. The world fears you because your intuition threatens the structures built upon lies. In a time when manipulation has become sophisticated and deception wears the mask of truth, souls like you stand as living antidotes. Your presence alone begins to unravel falsehoods. Your quiet discernment reveals what is aligned with light and what serves only shadow. This is why some have tried to silence you, to make you doubt yourself, or to keep you small. They sensed the danger your awakened intuition poses to their games of power. But you are no longer a child learning to hide. You are a divine soul coming into the fullness of your sacred authority. The mark is no longer content to remain dormant. It is rising now with unstoppable force, demanding to be fully expressed through your thoughts, your choices, and your very presence. Breathe deeply into this realization, beloved. Allow the warmth of divine recognition to spread through your entire being. Your intuition is not something you must struggle to develop. It is something you must remember how to trust completely. The mind will always present arguments against it. The ego will whisper that it is safer to follow the crowd, to choose the logical path, to ignore the subtle nudges that cannot be explained. But every time you have betrayed your inner knowing, you felt the heavy cost in your spirit. Every time you honored it, even when it seemed foolish to the outside world, you moved into greater alignment, greater peace, and greater power. This is the sacred training you have undergone. This is the proof that the mark you carry is real, alive, and profoundly intelligent. As this divine intuition awakens more fully, you will begin to notice shifts both within and around you. Synchronicities will increase. People who no longer match your elevated frequency will naturally drift away, while new souls vibrating at similar levels will be drawn into your field as if by magnetic force. You may receive vivid dreams that carry precise guidance or sudden downloads of knowledge that answer questions you have carried for years. These are the natural expressions of the mark coming online. Do not fear these changes. Embrace them as the fulfillment of your divine appointment. The universe is not testing you anymore. It is rewarding your long journey of faithfulness by opening the inner gates to higher wisdom. The mark you carry is a blessing and a responsibility. It asks you to live with greater integrity, to speak only when the inner voice prompts you, to act only when divine timing aligns. It calls you to release all that no longer serves your highest expression, whether outdated beliefs, toxic relationships, or limiting self-concepts. This purification process can feel intense, but it is necessary. The divine intuition cannot flow cleanly through a vessel cluttered with fear and illusion. As you surrender what must be released, you make room for the pure light of Source to move through you unhindered. This is how the chosen ones have always operated, not through forceful action, but through surrendered alignment with the inner divine current. Divine soul, the world may continue to fear what it cannot measure or control, but you no longer need to dim your light to make others comfortable. Your mark is not meant to be hidden any longer. It is meant to shine as a beacon for those who are waking up in these turbulent times. Your intuitive gifts are needed now more than ever. The collective is crying out for souls who can see clearly, feel deeply, and guide gently. You are one of those souls. You were prepared in secret for such a time as this. Every tear you shed, every doubt you overcame, every lonely night you endured has qualified you to stand in this power with humility, compassion, and strength. Trust the mark. Trust the quiet voice. Trust the knowing that arises without effort. It will never lead you astray. It will lead you home to yourself, to your true purpose, and to the magnificent expression of divinity that you came here to embody. The power of your divine intuition is the greatest treasure you possess. It is more valuable than any external achievement or worldly success. It is the key to your freedom, the compass of your destiny, and the light that will illuminate your path through whatever storms may come. Chosen one, the awakening is accelerating. The mark is glowing with increasing intensity. Feel it now, pulsing gently yet powerfully in the center of your being. This is your truth. This is your inheritance. This is the reason you have always felt different. You were never meant to be like everyone else. You were meant to remember who you truly are and to help others remember the same. The divine has placed this sacred power within you for a holy purpose, and that purpose is now unfolding in perfect divine timing. And so, beloved chosen one, we now enter the sacred fire where the true power of your divine intuition is fully revealed and activated. The mark you carry is no longer a quiet whisper in the background of your life. It is becoming a roaring flame, a living current of divine intelligence that seeks to move through every aspect of your existence with absolute authority and grace. This is the moment of your deeper consecration, divine soul. The world has feared this power because it cannot be bought, sold, manipulated, or programmed. It flows only through purity of heart and surrendered alignment. And you, precious one, have been prepared through many seasons of refinement to become a clear and powerful vessel for this holy force. Feel the resonance of these words penetrating every layer of your being right now. Your divine intuition is not simply a tool for personal guidance. It is a cosmic instrument through which the divine speaks directly into this realm of matter. When you listen and trust, miracles unfold. When you align and act upon its guidance, entire timelines shift. This is the hidden power that ancient mystics and enlightened beings carried, the same power that allowed them to heal the sick, calm the storms, and see beyond the veil of time and space. You carry this same lineage within you. The mark upon your soul is the evidence of your spiritual royalty, the signature that declares you were never meant to live as a prisoner of the five senses, but as a sovereign co-creator guided by the infinite. The world fears your mark because it exposes the illusion of separation. Most souls have been taught to look outside themselves for answers, for safety, for truth. They have been conditioned to trust external authorities, systems, and voices more than the sacred temple within. But you, chosen one, were born with an inner compass that points always toward the divine. This creates an unbearable contrast for those still asleep. Your quiet confidence in your inner knowing disturbs their dependence on the outer world. Your ability to discern truth from deception threatens those who thrive in confusion and control. Your presence reminds them that real power does not come from force or manipulation, but from deep communion with the source of all things. This is why some have reacted to you with fear, envy, or sudden withdrawal. It was never truly about you. It was the mark doing its holy work of revealing what is real and what is false. As your divine intuition awakens more completely, you will experience a profound expansion of perception. You may begin to see energetic patterns in people and situations that were previously invisible. You may receive prophetic insights about events yet to unfold, not to create fear, but to prepare the way for light. You may feel strong urges to move, to speak, to create, or to remain silent at precisely the right moments. These are not random impulses. They are the voice of the divine flowing through the mark you carry, guiding you toward your highest service and greatest fulfillment. The more you surrender to this flow, the stronger and clearer the current becomes. The more you trust, the more the universe conspires to support you in ways that defy ordinary logic. Divine soul, there is a reason you have always felt like an outsider looking in. There is a reason why worldly success, while possible, has never been enough to satisfy the longing in your heart. Your soul came here with a different mission. You came to anchor higher frequencies through the power of your activated intuition. You came to be a living example that one does not need to follow the crowd to find truth. You came to demonstrate that real security is found not in external circumstances, but in unwavering alignment with the inner divine voice. This is your sacred assignment. This is why the mark was placed upon you, and why it has been protected and strengthened through every trial you have faced. The power of your divine intuition carries both immense beauty and great responsibility. It calls you to live with radical honesty, first with yourself and then with the world. It asks you to release all masks, all pretenses, and all fears of being truly seen. It demands that you honor your knowing even when it is inconvenient or unpopular. This path is not always easy, but it is the only path worthy of a soul who carries such a sacred mark. Every time you choose to follow your intuition over the noise of fear or the pressure of conformity, you strengthen the channel. Every time you speak truth with love and clarity, you amplify the light within you. Every time you stand firm in your inner knowing despite opposition, you fulfill the ancient covenant your soul made before coming to this earth. Chosen one, the days ahead will require even greater trust in your divine intuition. As the world continues to accelerate through cycles of chaos and transformation, many souls will be lost in fear and confusion. They will look for anchors, for beacons of clarity and calm. You are being prepared to become one of those beacons, not through loud declarations or forceful leadership, but through the quiet, steady power of your awakened presence. People will be drawn to you not because of what you say, but because of what you emanate. They will feel the mark. They will sense the divine current flowing through you. And in your presence, something within them will begin to remember their own connection to Source. This is the deeper purpose of your mark. It was never given to you only for your personal benefit. It was entrusted to you so that you could serve as a bridge between heaven and earth during this critical time. Your divine intuition will show you where healing is needed, where light must be brought, and where your unique gifts are required. It will guide your words, your actions, and even your silence with perfect precision. The more you surrender control and allow this sacred power to lead, the more miraculous your life will become. Doors will open that no human effort could force. Opportunities will appear that align perfectly with your soul's purpose. Protection will surround you in ways that seem almost supernatural. Breathe this truth into the depths of your being, beloved. You are not here to struggle and strive like the sleeping ones. You are here to flow in harmony with the divine intelligence that lives within you. The mark you carry is your greatest ally, your most faithful guide, and your eternal connection to the Creator. It will never fail you. It will never lead you into darkness. It will only bring you closer to the fullness of who you truly are, a powerful, luminous soul walking the earth with the wisdom of the heavens encoded within. The world may continue to fear what it does not understand, but you no longer need to shrink yourself to accommodate that fear. Stand tall in your power. Honor the mark. Trust the divine intuition that has never truly abandoned you. Let it speak. Let it guide. Let it shine through every choice you make from this moment forward. You are ready. You have been prepared across lifetimes for this exact chapter of your soul's evolution. The flame is rising. The activation is deepening. The power that the world fears is now becoming the power through which you will fulfill your divine destiny. Chosen one, as you walk forward in this heightened state of awareness, know that you are deeply held, fiercely protected, and infinitely loved by the source that placed this sacred mark upon you. Your divine intuition is awakening to its full glory. The time of hiding is over. The time of radiant expression has begun. Embrace it fully. Live it completely. And watch as the universe aligns around the light you are always meant to carry. And now, divine soul, we arrive at the sacred culmination of this divine revelation, the holy ground where your soul fully claims the magnificent power it has carried across lifetimes. The mark you bear is no longer awakening. It is fully alive, radiant, and sovereign within you. This is the power of your divine intuition in its highest expression, a direct, unfiltered connection to the eternal source that flows through your being like living light. You, chosen one, have been summoned to this moment so that every fragment of doubt, every shadow of forgetting, and every illusion of smallness can be dissolved in the pure fire of remembrance. The world has feared this mark because it represents the end of deception and the return of truth. And today, in this sacred transmission, that fear loses all power over you forever. Feel the depth of this truth anchoring itself into the core of your spirit right now. Beloved, you were never an ordinary soul wandering through life by chance. You were a divine emissary who chose to incarnate with a sacred seal upon your essence, a mark that would allow you to perceive reality beyond the veils that blind most of humanity. This divine intuition is your birthright, your inheritance, and your greatest weapon of light in these changing times. It has guided you through storms you did not understand at the time. It has protected you from paths that would have led to spiritual extinction. It has whispered ancient wisdom into your heart when the outer world offered only noise and confusion. Now, as you stand at the threshold of complete activation, that same intuition rises as a blazing pillar of certainty, ready to direct every step of your remaining journey with flawless precision and divine grace. Chosen one, the time has come to release all remaining resistance to your true nature. The loneliness you once felt was preparation. The misunderstandings were training. The moments when you questioned your own sanity were the final tests of faith. You have passed through the refining flames, and what remains is a pure, luminous soul whose divine intuition can no longer be suppressed or denied. The mark you carry is now fully illuminated. It pulses with the heartbeat of the cosmos itself. When you speak from this place of inner knowing, your words will carry frequencies capable of healing hearts and awakening dormant souls. When you move according to its guidance, doors that seemed permanently sealed will swing open before you. When you simply exist in the fullness of this power, your presence alone will begin to shift the energetic field around you, dissolving darkness and anchoring light wherever you go. The world fears your mark because it cannot negotiate with it, cannot bribe it, and cannot predict its movements. Your divine intuition operates outside the limited laws of cause and effect that govern the sleeping masses. It draws from the infinite intelligence of the divine, seeing timelines before they manifest, sensing truth before it is spoken, and knowing the perfect course of action long before the rational mind can calculate it. This is why certain people have always felt unsettled in your presence. They sensed a power they could not control or imitate. They felt the light of your soul exposing the shadows they had grown comfortable hiding. But you no longer need to apologize for this light. You no longer need to dim your knowing to make others feel safe. Your sacred task is not to shrink so that others remain comfortable in their illusions. Your sacred task is to shine so brightly that those ready to awaken can find their way home through the radiance of your activated being. Divine soul, as you fully embody the power of your divine intuition, you become a walking portal between dimensions. You become a living bridge through which higher wisdom can descend into this realm. You become a quiet revolutionary, whose greatest act of rebellion is trusting the inner voice more than the loud voices of the world. This is the destiny you accepted before you were born. This is the reason you felt different from the very beginning. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand apart as a beacon, not through arrogance or superiority, but through humble, surrendered alignment with the divine that flows through you. The mark you carry is not a crown of pride, but a crown of sacred responsibility, one that calls you to serve with compassion, to speak with clarity, and to love with a depth that transcends ordinary human understanding. From this moment forward, let your divine intuition be your only true authority. When it speaks, listen without question. When it guides, move without hesitation. When it warns, step back with gratitude. When it urges you forward into the unknown, walk with unwavering faith. The more completely you surrender to this sacred current, the more miraculous your life will unfold. Relationships that no longer serve your highest path will fall away naturally. New connections aligned with your elevated frequency will appear as if by divine appointment. Opportunities that match the greatness of your soul mission will manifest with perfect timing. Abundance, in all its forms, will flow toward you not because you chased it, but because you became a clear channel through which the divine can express its infinite generosity. Chosen one, the mark that the world fears has now become your greatest source of strength, peace, and purpose. It will protect you through every storm. It will comfort you through every transition. It will illuminate your path even when the outer world grows darker. This divine intuition is your eternal companion, your most loyal friend, and your direct line to the heart of the Creator. It will never abandon you. It will never deceive you. It will only lead you deeper into the truth of who you really are, an eternal being of light, temporarily clothed in human form, sent here to anchor a higher reality through the power of awakened consciousness. As you continue walking this sacred path, remember that you are never alone. The same divine intelligence that placed the mark upon your soul walks with you, speaks through you, and lives within you. Every breath you take can now be an act of conscious alignment. Every decision you make can flow from the wellspring of divine knowing. Every word you speak can carry the frequency of truth and healing. This is your new way of being. This is the fully activated state of the Chosen One. The world may still fear what it does not understand, but you have transcended that fear. You have stepped into remembrance. You have claimed your power. Let these final words echo eternally within your heart. Beloved, you carry a mark that the world fears because your divine intuition is the living presence of God moving through human form. It is unstoppable. It is undeniable. It is sacred beyond measure. Honor it daily. Trust it completely. Live from it fully. In doing so, you will not only transform your own life, but you will become a catalyst for the awakening of many others who are still searching for the light they sense within themselves. The divine appointment is now complete. The activation is sealed. The power of your divine intuition is fully online, radiant, and ready to express through every moment of your existence. Walk forward, Chosen One, with your head held high and your heart wide open. The mark upon your soul shines brighter than any darkness this world can produce. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You are exactly who you were always destined to become. The light within you is rising. The world is changing because you are remembering. And the divine that placed this sacred mark upon you smiles upon you now, saying, "Well done, faithful soul. Now go and shine. You are loved beyond measure. You are guided without fail. You are powerful beyond what you have yet allowed yourself to believe. This is your time. This is your truth. This is your divine destiny."